Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
You think knowledge is a powerful weapon? Here, you'll have plenty of ammo. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Becoming a leader is a choice. So if you want to learn to make big decisions, start with this one. Decide to lead.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
We all got a thing. A thing that gets us out of bed or keeps us out of it. The thing we live to do, that we do for nothing at all. But don't do it for nothing. Take it to where it means everything. Becoming a leader is a choice not everyone wants to make. Because all eyes are on you. Calling the shots. Inspiring others to follow. In any environment, at any scale. It's not for everyone, but if you want to learn to make big decisions, start with this one. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
You think knowledge is a powerful weapon? Here, you'll have plenty of ammo. Look to science to solve problems? Wield a microscope to confront global threats. You sometimes dream in code? Become a cyber attacker's worst nightmare. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
What do you expect from that first job out of college? Working your way up from the bottom? Instead, how does this sound? Starting in a guaranteed leadership position with people who look...
Good Good evening, one and all. We've got the ECAC Week 1 of the Fall 2022 Division A Rocket League. Yes, baby. Visionary One is by my side. My name is Pyro J. And it's just so good to start Week 1. Visionary, the Rocket League, the collegiate action. I've been waiting for this moment, man.
I've been waiting for this moment as well. This is I've worked Valorant with these guys here at Esports U. I get to do Rocket League now. I'm super excited to get into it. And I must say, Pyro, you look mighty fine in that denim jacket, my dude.
Wow. I mean, Visionary One coming from you, that means a lot. Takes one to know one, right? A mighty fine man. But we got mighty fine teams out here ready to compete against each other. We got the Army West Point squad coming up against Louisiana Tech Blue. Visionary One, we were talking LA Tech, we were talking La Tech. You're more of a La Tech guy, I heard.
I am, unfortunately, but we do know their mascot's the Bulldogs, so we can go with Bulldogs Blue. That actually sounds pretty darn good. Of course, Army West Point, the Rangers coming out as well. It's going to be an exciting matchup, and this is going to be the first time for me personally that I've seen West Point Esports, so I'm super excited to see what they bring to the table tonight.
Army West Point always seems to bring the top caliber, the best people, really players that you can put on the field no matter what esport I really see them in. So I'm alongside you, Visionary One, and being very I'm really anticipating this matchup. The other thing we have to keep in mind as well, folks, for ECAC Rocket League is these are not best of 5s anymore. These are best of 7s. So we're really getting into the nitty gritty here, Visionary One, of like, that best team should be the one to move forward given all those games.
Right, with 7 games, it gives the time for those teams to be just make those adjustments that are important pivotal really during that 7-game series, because there's changes in play style. People get more aggressive, people get less aggressive, but at the end of the day, it gives you the time to kind of sort it out. You have kind of your IGL or the head that's going to sit there and make those adjustments for their team. And typically in a best of 7 series, we do see the best team prevail unless one of these teams just comes out super hot. With Rocket League, it's kind of like the NFL, any given Sunday, they like to say. I say anybody can show up on any given day in Rocket League and be the better team.
There you go. And at any time, which is another thing I love about Rocket League, you can score from literally anywhere at the pitch. Makes our job especially interesting and difficult. But what else would we sign up for rather than the challenge that is Rocket League? Guys, the other reason this is very challenging is because there's around 64 teams in this Division A of ECAC. And out of the 8 weeks of competition, only the top half make it. So it's a lot of teams to compete against, Visionary One, when you're thinking, okay, after these 8 weeks, I want to be in that playoff spot.
Got to be in that top 32. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to break even and get hot at the right time. But both of these teams are definitely looking to start their seasons off right here in this week 1. The players are in the lobby, Pyro. We got Louisiana Tech Bulldogs Blue, of course, coming against the Army West Point Rangers. I got to put you on the spot. Who do you got in this series in week 1?
I didn't think you'd do me like that, Visionary One. I really did not. We brought the hype out, though, for Army West Point. So, you know what? Give me this squad to make it happen. Santa, especially the player to watch for me. Whether the players are naughty or nice out here, I think he's going to be putting out the dirty plays.
I love to hear it, Pyro. That's some great alliteration. As Santa's actually going to get this over the top. Has an opportunity, but plays sunglasses to start off. It looks like the offense might stay here as Vihad's going to get this all the way over to the side. Jazz looking to stay on it, gets under 1. Takes the control, tries to flick it over another. It's going to go over the top once again, and we have Parker, who's not going to be able to get the touch off of the sidewall. Luckily, Vihad's going to be able to come through. And an awkward bounce there for Coco, going to start us out here as Shady Sunglasses gets that one away.
Yeah, we got a good possession working up here right now for Louisiana Tech Blue. And interestingly, Vihad's in the breakout. I'm not sure if this is a nod to some freestyling mannerisms or just some trying to farm the flip resets right now. What they've got to farm is a little bit of savings on the goal line. That one gets right over him. First goal for Army West Point.
It's just a great job of abusing the backboard during the transition on the defense. Of course, nobody's able to get on the backboard to get that strong clear. So instead of shooting it at the net where it can be saved, hey, let's put it off the backboard, lay it up for a teammate. Army West Point going to come out to an early 1-0 lead here. As we see Vihas trying to change that early. Unfortunately, gets a little bit on top of that ball, sends it straight down. It's going to be good, patient defense so far from the Army West Point Rangers.
Very patient on defense. Sometimes that is what it takes for these players to just set up the right mechanisms to attribute some good plays on the offensive side. Rotation, sometimes the best form to take. as long as you're well positioned and got good range. Up on the outside and really anywhere on the field. What more would you expect from the Rangers? Peacup going to be able to knock that ball away. Vihas next on the ball. This possession starting to sort out well for Army West Point as they've got a long one to work with so far.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of pounding the rock. You see a boost steal coming out in the corner once again. It's just one of those things where they look great, but Jazz immediately going to be up fast to that one, looking for a second touch, but can't find it. Viha's going to have to retreat here with no boost as well. This might be another possession leading up for the Rangers right now. They're looking extremely strong in the possession game. They're just winning the 50s out right now. This is going to be awkward for Jazz. Shady Sunglasses is going to be able to find the back of the net there. 2-0 with 2:51 to go. And I got to say, in this game number one, Army West Point looking like they're just the slightly faster team right now.
It's the quickness, it's the smarts of the plays you were calling out, Visionary One, to steal the boost as well. And the positioning, as you said, was awkward too for the defensive line. It wasn't exactly rotated back post. You also like to see players having the momentum to move around the goal line so that no matter where that ball goes, you can kind of keep your car in motion and reach the ball wherever it is. The defenders on the goal line are more so looking like they're trying to balance on a tightrope, right? They're just not knowing which position to go. That's great positioning though for Jazz. What a hot shot towards the goal line to start to put their opponents a little bit under pressure.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a double commit. It's the first one we've seen out of the Rangers so far, and that's a nice little redirect as well. But Viha is going to go with the fake. Shady Sunglasses has an opportunity off the crossbar. Sansa trying to get a shot to the far post, not able to. Viha is still on the struggle bus, finally secures 100 boost, trying to cut off Coco. They're not able to, as Parker going to be able to get that one away. And a demo on the front side as well, going to leave the defense awkward. It's a great pass, but Jazz has the free jump read to at least keep it out of the net for now.
Jazz more so looks like that player that's at the right place, right time, but it's going to be the ball that threads the needle and takes the perfect lane to the net.
It certainly does here, and it's just a fake by Coco, just putting pressure on Parker in front on that backboard. It's going to just drop, and there's unfortunately not another person that is on that front post to block off that shot in time. It's going to be 3-0, and I said earlier, they're looking like the faster team, but you also have to commend them. They're not throwing away possession often, if at all. They're using the backboard, they're passing to each other, and they're finding options just to be able to keep the ball in their grasp and not really let Louisiana Tech actually be able to transition at all.
Yeah, we see Vihas with that press up the field as well, and does it lack intentionality? It's more so maybe they give their team some time to rotate around offensively, but without a pass to another teammate, without a plan to move forward, it does feel like these offensive pursuits lack substance. Aside from some of those shots that are reaching that side of the field, it just doesn't look like it's hitting the spot for them. By the way, this is the Army West Point Black Knights. The Rangers, as I mentioned earlier, and they are looking like a team that has definitely achieved knighthood. The ferocity, the offensiveness, it's palpable from Army West Point so far, Visionary.
Certainly is. That you can see that they've earned their Sir titles going into it, as that's going to be a nice shot from Coco, but the length of the breakout going to get Vihas a save. Little awkward transition as well. This is going to be passed over to the midfield. Unfortunately, Peacup not in position for it. And this is actually going to go over to the side. Jazz with a nice rotation out to bail his team out and buy them some time to look for the boost. It's going to be found, but Coco just sitting in the midfield, really just playing that resource game instead of playing the ball there. Just gets a little bit out of rotation, but secures that boost. And this ball is going to be headed back into the orange half once again for the Army West Point Black Knights. This is looking extremely strong, a little bit awkward in front. It's going to be 50-50 out to the midfield, and Coco actually going to get beat there by Parker, going to get it towards the net, goes under, not able to secure it though. And as this clock winds down, Pyro, unfortunately there's no 3-point shots here in Rocket League, of course, so this one's going to be under wraps. I have to say though that we've seen some good offensive opportunities. I think the one from Louisiana Tech, that rocket from midfield off the pass that Vihas dimed down, it was a good one, but I can honestly say that that was their only good shot really on net that looked dangerous. Everything else kind of pot shots from midfield, trying to relieve that pressure and just keep the defense honest. And that's great while you're able to maintain pressure in some form, but it just wasn't there at all.
Yeah, it's maintaining pressure that is really lacking right now for Louisiana Tech. You're seeing some of those shots hit the first defender, right? But where's the follow? It's not quite there, and that attributes to the factors that we talked about earlier, Visionary One. It's about the speed, it's about the boost control, the resourcing that we've seen from Army West Point is definitely more efficient from this squad. And then additionally, it's just the shot counts as well that are lacking. I think it was maybe 9-3 with the advantage to Army West Point, right? You've got to put on more than 3 shots if you're going to test Army West Point, if you're going to make them feel even a little bit uncomfortable. Army West Point definitely capitalizing on the pressure in game 1, but we talked about it earlier, Visionary 1. It's a long series, a best of 7. There should be more chances for the squad to get back into it, so let's do just that. Game number 2 is online.
Yep, and kickoff is going to go towards the back corner, and it's going to be actually Army West Point that's able to get a touch on it. Viha's going to get one here. It's going to be cut off by Santa. Actually going to be 50-50, dead even in the midfield. So we're seeing a little back and forth to start this one off. Parker unfortunately backflips off of that. It's going to be Jazz playing it over to their corner. 4 minutes and 40 seconds remain on the clock. It's some early pressure here. Santa with a chance for a double tap. Does get it through one. That's an open net, but it's going to be P-Cup able to cut that one off. A beautiful job by him, just getting back in the play and buying his team a chance to keep the score at 0-0.
True showcase of resiliency coming out from Louisiana. And listen, that's only half the battle. Right now, it's the offense that we were marking, but that just wasn't enough. What is that? 2 touches from Santa, a double save, one of them being a bicycle backflip. Unbelievable. That just attributes to this gridiron wall of defense that Army West Point are bringing forward. For Louisiana, it's got to feel impossible right now to score.
Certainly does, and I mean, that was one of the cases, the most awkward positioning we've seen so far from Army, from West Point, and they're able to bring it back. And I got to say, the Black Knights definitely have their chainmail on right now, as that's a huge demo in front, and that one's going to be slotted front post from Santa, and they make offense out of nothing right here, as nobody can get this ball with the awkward bounce off of that corner, and Viha is just unfortunately a millimeter under saving that one.
I mean, the demolition is lethal, and you combine that with the double save we saw earlier. LA Tech Blue are feeling bruised, but then just the goal from Santa as well, after coming from those saves, that's salt in the wound. Louisiana Tech Blue, they're going to be feeling that. They're going to feel the pain train that AWPE is putting on here today. Goal scoring only continues, Visionary 1. This is 4 uncontested. We still have yet to see Louisiana Tech Blue register a goal here in this series.
And we're going to see if they can get it here. We're, of course, going to have Parker banging one downfield. It's going to be close, but Santa able to get that one away. And it's a missed touch. It's going to be played out. Possession might be saved here, but it's going to be rocketed towards the midfield. It's going to be Jazz beating one out. So we're seeing a little possession come out again. This is better than they had last game for sure. As Parker's already up on this, goes for the 50. Coco going to be able to play that one away, but the pressure remains. Via is actually up on this one, not able to beat out Santa, and a little redirect by Shady Sunglasses, able to get that one away. We see Parker just diving in from midfield, and that pressure is finally gone. And we've seen how West Point has just dealt with this so ridiculously well so far. Other than that backflip save, their defense has been on point.
Yeah, and even the backflip save was just so miraculous that it's just a testament to how brutal they are. But I agree. In general, the defense very grounded. Look at that. You even have another one coming through that shot lane from Louisiana Tech Blue, but still, they track the ball, they save it away, and that's even with more reinforcements on the goal line. We haven't really seen that kind of last defender standing yet for Army West Point. They've just been able to stick to their fundamentals and their foundation. Very strong here so far in the game. 4 registered shots, though. It's 4 and 4 from both squads. So Louisiana Tech Blue, they're just waiting for one of these shots to finally fall.
Yeah, they basically just need the nail in the coffin right now. They've had some much better offense this game. Is Parker actually going to get a nice 50 here? It's going to be the rotation from Santa, able to get that one. He is deciding that these Louisiana Tech players are quite naughty right now, because he's not letting them get any gifts in form of goals in front of the net. Here is Parker with a very nice touch to the midfield, but this is going to be played by Coco over, looking for Shady Sunglasses, going to be looking for that third teammate. Unfortunately, a little bunched on the backside, but with the lead, it's nothing to really stress about. It's nobody got off their wheels. It's going to be a nice dunk, however, by Jazz. Going to have a chance at a 1v1, and it's going to be in. Jazz, they finally break the scoring curse. Pyro J only took almost 10 minutes there. Get away with it. 8 minutes and 44 seconds without a goal. They finally break the curse.
Curse is indeed broken, and you know, any player getting a little bit of space there, I'm still feeling tentative on whether that's a goal, but it was Jazz, right? And Jazz has seemed definitely the most dangerous in terms of the offensive prowess that we've seen from Louisiana Tech Blue. So when I saw it was Jazz with that space, that's when I said, okay, we might have something here. So a perfect equalizer for Louisiana Tech Blue. Their defense is almost passed with flying colors here this game as well. So at a 1-1 game with under a minute remaining, there is still a chance for Louisiana Tech Blue. Heck, more of a chance than just a small smidgem for them to take a game off Army West Point.
It's the beauty of best of sevens, Pyro. We're going down into the nitty gritty. Like you said, the adjustments have been made by Louisiana Tech, and they've been able to catch out Army West Point with a couple more shots than we definitely saw in game number 1. Here's Jazz with the touchdown, looking for Parker, but since 2 were in front, Parker's not going to commit to that. It's a smart play, but he's going to get beat here as well as last. Vija is able to get up in time for that one as well. Jazz able to get a little clear here. Time is ticking down. Overtime looms as Coco going to beat out one. Vijas luckily gets a touch there. Going for the fake was Coco. Would have been a nice touch. A little bit of a double commit. Going to lead some open space down the field. Can they break this one down? It's going to be played off the corner. We're going to have Coco lifting behind it. There's a chance, but Shady Sunglasses going to kill it. We go to overtime.
It's so interesting to see Army West Point, the team that wants to kill the ball, because after game 1, we thought it would be them in control, them to be showcasing the dominance, but instead we're starting to see the vulnerabilities. That double commit that we saw late in regulation time shows that there are moments where Louisiana Tech Blue can pounce, that being one of them. Vijas' shot can't go through. Jazz wants to follow as they're starting to mount the pressure. A good 50-50 keeps this possession alive as well, but with the clear from Shady Sunglasses, that can start to put things in motion for Army West Point.
And that's a good touch to the opposite side there by Jazz, and a good backside demo as well. Going to free up some space, but unfortunately Parker's going to play that right back to Santa. It's going to delay this breakout just a little bit as this is going to go. Coco's going to leave it. Where's the defense, guys? Shady, no! Shady, no! It's an open net miss, and it is a painful one off of the crossbar. Shady gets another shot at it right here. It's going to be blocked out, but still in the corner. The pressure continues, but that's probably one that Army West Point are kicking themselves over. They definitely should have had that one.
Everybody wants that sweetness of the crossbar down finish, but oh boy, this game is far from finished, especially with that redirect that gets past Coco. There's the follow-on shot from Jazz, and that's one player that's not gonna miss an open opportunity. Louisiana Tech Blue, they clutch up and they equalize in the series.
What a wild sequence of events, Pyroche. I could not believe that one right there. You have a straight open net that you have the opportunity to get to secure that game 2, take the 2-game lead. Instead, an awkward redirect off of one of your own players rockets the ball towards your net, and Louisiana Tech able to pull one out. Good job by them. Obviously, shot totals exactly equal this game. You said last time it was 3 shots. This time it's actually 8-8 on both ends. They were able to pick up that speed. Maybe it was just, you know, that 5-minute wait time getting into the lobby, a little bit slow coming out of it. The thumbs aren't warm. They definitely looked a lot better that game, Pyro.
Oh, Louisiana Tech Blue looking better, but then you look at Army West Point. I think they went from confident in game 1 to a little bit of arrogance in game number 2, right? It's some of those shots, some of those opportunities that they weren't as disciplined to close out, and now they're looking at the series saying, okay, maybe we should have pressed up a little harder. Maybe we should have given it our all. So I'm really excited for game number 3. Now that Army West Point are a little bit with their backs against the wall, having lost that overtime, feeling a little bit slumpish after that open net miss as well. We'll take it to game number 3. Is there redemption in the cards for Army West Point? There almost was from the first shot of game number 3. Or as Louisiana Tech Blue started to find their stride.
We're going to see that, but that's the beauty of these best of sevens, Pyro, is the sheer fact that the adjustments we're already seeing being made. As Parker's actually going for a double tap here, can't find it. Jazz can't get that one through either, but Vija is going to sky that one off of the corner, able to keep the pressure here as that's cleared towards the midfield. It's a pass over to Jazz. It's not going to be connected. Santa gets credited with the save, but the boost is being stolen everywhere now by Louisiana Tech. They really feel like they found their stride. It's a bit of a double commit in the corner, though, and Parker's not going to be able to get to that one. 2 are on the backboard. But luckily, it's a strong fear here for Jazz to let them kind of fix their positioning there as this one is touched over to the midfield. Parker going to play it over to Jazz. Takes a wild pre-jump stab at it, not able to get around to it. And Trav going to be able to get that one away.
Peek up next in the midfield. They're looking confident moving forward. We talked about this team finding their stride with some of these crosses downfield, with these infield passes and these pre-jumps as well. Their gait is elongated. That is a stride that they have undoubtedly found. And Jazz feeling so confident as well with that touch past 2 defenders. Peek ups there and almost finished the play. Vihas with the follow. That's not going to be on target. But with Shady Sunglasses awkward on the backboard, it's still Louisiana Tech Blue to follow up this pressure. Jazz with control, missing it, and losing their cohesion in this series as well. Army West Point, they find their lead back.
Yeah, that's a really rough commit by the third in rotation from Louisiana Tech. It's one of those things where you feel like you could potentially beat them to the ball as Jazz is dropping it down to you. But if you get beat there, you are leaving your net wide open, and they were able to walk it in just like a dog walker walks 14 dogs. It seemed like a pretty easy task. Shady Sunglasses is going to look to take this one. It's going to be skyrocketed off the 50-50 over to Parker. Going to play it top. Nobody's on the backboard. Jazz coming in, but it's a double commit. Parker has no boost, and they're staring down the barrel of another wide open net, and they are not going to miss that one. Or actually either of them so far. They're alleviating their woes from the last game.
Jerry, you know Eminem's lyric that staring out the window, guess that's why they call it window pane. It feels like that's every goal that LA Tech Blue have to look at every single time. It's just a wide open half that Army West Point are just strolling on like it's a red carpet showcase. All the paparazzi taking their pictures. They make their way down the goal line. It's looking too easy. There's gotta be recovery right now for Louisiana Tech Blue defensively. Otherwise, they're gonna keep looking through that window of the midfield line in pain.
I mean, you hit us with the Eminem. I'm gonna hit you with some Shania Twain, some wide open spaces. This is what I'm seeing right now on the defensive end for Louisiana Tech. We're gonna see if they can bring that back, but it's gonna be Shady Sunglasses, and it's another deep commit by a third in rotation, causing Parker to dive back. This is just gonna be right in front. Vihas plays it directly over to Santa. It's gonna be a good save out by Jazz there. The shot could have been a little bit more powerful, but we're gonna see possession just held once again. Santa coming over here, trying to secure the boost, isn't able to get it. I swear those boost pads get smaller with every single Rocket League update. They just get harder and harder to hit. But Santa's playing bully. This one's gonna be off the crossbar, and Trapo can't get this one in. It's an unfortunate turn of events as it's another open net. Parker's gonna let it go. Jazz gets credit with the goal. And what happened to the defense on both sides so far in this match, Pyro? Because I can't tell you.
What happened to Rocket League as we know it, Visionary One? I really don't know. As well in that last play, like Santa is just scratching their head because there was a demolition on one defender. There was the bump on the other. This is basically a wide open net that again is not taken advantage of, not leveraged by Army West Point. Are they still working with the lead? Yes. May they extend that lead here? Santa taking lead, grabbing the torch and saying, I'll do it myself. Yes, absolutely. But boy, are we seeing the gaps in both of these teams.
That's a ground pitch at 80 miles an hour, though, Pyro J. I just have to throw that out there. That was a banger shot into the top right corner. There is no saving that. But yeah, there's been a little open space this match. Maybe both teams are trying to kind of establish that dominance of being the quicker team, and you see the communication just kind of goes by the wayside when things like that happen. It's people just trying to beat everybody out to the ball, but we're gonna see Vihas with a nice touch up. Unfortunately, it's not going to hit the top, so it's just going to be an easy carry over for Shady Sunglasses, but he's not able to contain it afterwards. It's going to be a whifty right in front of the net. Parker's going to try to get around this one. Beats one out, but it's still in the corner. Shady Sunglasses gets a touch. It's going to be up to Trapo. Not able to make the touch. Jazz can't get the double commit. We have Vihas coming around to keep the pressure. Unfortunately, just not on target yet. And it's a great dunk by Santa to relieve some of that pressure. Grabs a mid boost as well, Pyro. This is looking a well set up defense finally for one of these teams. This time it just happens to be for West Point.
Yeah, the MO for defense for Army West Point just appears to be feed the beast that is Santa. Give them as much boost as they could possibly ask for, because the saves and the reads on the 50s have just been all that Army West Point have needed in the last minute or so. They found control in that scenario. Oh, with a shot off the post for Vihas. Could have given this team a look here in game number 3. It's still not completely out of contention here. Still contest to be had with 30 seconds remaining, but every second shaved, it's looking bleak for Louisiana.
Yeah, that double commit in the midfield isn't going to help as well. Oh, a second double commit coming out in between Vihaz and Parker as well. It's going to make this extremely awkward and the touch not being able to be made. Jazz out of boost entirely. Here's Vihaz looking for a dunk, not able to find it. Is this going to be another open net opportunity? No, Parker's able to get back in time. Here's Tarpo getting a touch over. Jazz able to get that one away. It's a nice carry through the mid, looking for one of his teammates, not able to find it. That defensive stance, knowing you're up 2 goals, and we don't have to overcommit. We have the game in the bag. This one's going to be bounced up high. Doesn't look like anybody's going to get a touch on this as it falls to the ground. It's going to be Army West Point right now with a 2-1 lead in this best of 7 series. And yes, I said it. ECAC doing a great job moving to best of 7s instead of best of 5s for these weekly matchups. Love to see that. And somebody's been feeding Santa their milk and cookies because he had himself a game.
Woo! 5 of 7 shots registered for AWP. We got 2 of 3 goals as well. And not even those statistics tell the story. We saw Santa really holding it down on the back line as well, reading so many shots that Louisiana Tech had to bring out and forward. I mean, Visionary 1, outside of from what we saw from this game, we're almost looking for cohesion, right? I mean, how many open nets were scored? How many open nets have been missed as well? The defensive line just needs to be more intact, especially for Louisiana Tech. I almost want to get in the mix of their communications, because normally during comms you hear who's going to be on the ball. I think they got to start calming who's going to be on the back line.
Yeah, I think that would help out for certain. I think it's just one of those things where we saw a lot of midfield double commits from Louisiana Tech, especially when they were on offense. And those are the most painful double commits, or the midfield doubles, because you're leaving one player isolated and they either have to beat out 3 defenders essentially, or they have to rush back on defense and try to get, the 2-on-1 after that midfield double. So I'd like to see them clean that up. I think the backline rotations and kind of the overcommits that we saw from third man, that's something that could be solved out relatively soon. It really comes down to, hey, can we stop those double, if you're at least Louisiana Tech, can we stop these double commits in the midfield so we're not getting immediate pressure in our face right on the backswing? Because, of course, Army West Point has done a really good job of just getting away from that as we see a double commit on the backside to start this one off a shot from Parker. This is actually going to be a chance for Vihaz. Top shelf going to be cleared off the crossbar there. If there was goaltending in Rocket League, that might have been it. This one might just be in the net. No, it's going to be Jazz getting it away to start us off.
And naturally, we just can't have a calm entry into one of these games. We are fast-paced and moving at light speed, or straight out the gate. Wouldn't have it any other way here for game number 4. Talked about that midfield presence that is needed from Louisiana Tech Blue, and I couldn't agree more. We'll see if that starts to appear more rigid from their team. At the moment, it is Army West Point working with that possession. A lot of members on the defensive line there to mark down that goal line, and maybe a reset there for P-Cup, who's still on this ball, trying to send it through. Not going to be able to work that one out. Vihaz trying to snipe a shot that Sand has to go up for. Vihaz with enough boost to take it again from the post, and Vihaz has been really working the goal line here, Visionary 1, amounting a ton of pressure.
I've seen him almost every single time in this series, sometimes great, sometimes not so great, but he has always been aggressive at trying to get that second touch to set up their teammates and put the defense in awkward positions. He's coming from the side a lot, just looking to get a touch down just to find a teammate, and it hasn't worked yet, but I'm assuming it's going to have to at some point, as that's a great save by him falling off the crossbar. Shady Sunglasses is going to have to keep possession of this one, bringing it around town like they're SpongeBob, looking to control this ball. Going to do a good job of taking the 50 as well, killing that one out. Going to get bumped by Parker, of course. Vihaz going to lose that 50, but it's going to be Jazz able to get this one away. 3:10 remaining. We're scoreless, which is something we haven't said much of so far in this series, Pyro.
There might have been some advice taken to really work on freshening up that defensive unit. Oh, look at this passing play there. P-Cup not able to pick it up as much as they were hoping for. Top corner almost slotted for Jazz, and back and forth, give and go. That's what it takes here for Louisiana Tech Blue to finally find one. They've got a lead to work with.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and it's a great pass by Vihaz over to find Jazz as well, just discombobulating the defense right there. Didn't really know who was going to take the shot, and at that point, you just got to dive at it and hope, and it did not work out for the Black Knights, as it's going to be Louisiana Tech up 1. It's a great slow touch here by Parker as well. Unfortunately, not able to find the second, and Jazz in a bit of a precarious position, trying to get this one away, looking to fall on it, at least gets the bump on Santa, but Santa is full, and he is strong right now, as that's going to be forced through another one. Santa, are you kidding me? He just demolished everybody. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna beat out one. We're gonna take a 50 over the second. Oh, and by the way, I read this quicker than you do.
One by one, taking down the entire unit. And you know what, Visionary? Santa has no reason to peel off of that ball, right? If you've got what it takes to beat everybody on the field, then just do it. Okay, carry the weight that is this team and bring them back in this game with a tied up scoreline. It's going to be enough for now. There's still more to be leveraged for this Army West Point squad. Will they look to leverage this unit again? It is Trapo now on the side of Army West Point to take the field for this squad and try to round out this unit. Shady Sunglasses almost getting the dunk that we saw from Santa earlier on to beat out the defense. Peek up looking for that midfield pass. But Army West Point, as soon as they score, they just seem to catch fire. That's another one tallied up.
I mean, but that all is based off that 50-50 by Trapo over in the corner. Like, he's just coming across that ball, positions his car perfectly to rocket that towards the backboard. And honestly, like, I don't even blame Vijas there. That is a very difficult read to make, especially coming off of that kind of apron where, you know, the curvature of the net is, and he's just left in basically no man's land, not able to get back to it. And West Point doing a great job of capitalizing on this defense that we've seen from Louisiana Tech that has left themselves vulnerable at times.
So you're not blaming Vijas for getting dunked on, but at the same time, he did choose the breakout. So I'm just wondering how much that plays into a factor. No, I know the breakout fully capable of hitting absolute bangers and picking up the flip resets. We have yet to see that. Maybe P-Cup can slot one. Oh my, that's right off of the post. Again, Army West Point surviving by the skin of their teeth. It seems that's all they know how to do in this series.
It has been their MO so far. This is actually going to be a 1v1, and it is going to be Jazz again with the opportunity, trying to cut this one inside, looking for a teammate, not able to find it. Jazz has kind of been the stalwart on offense so far for Louisiana Tech. That's going to be a nice save by Parker right there as well, able to get that one away. Vijas with a nice little dunk. It's going to be Trapo. Actually doesn't have the touch, but Shady Sunglasses there to bail them out as Jazz is up on this one. It's going to be an opportunity again, but no, it's going to be taken away. It's Parker going to just demolish one. Here's Jazz with the touch, looking for the pass, the give and go, the 1-2-1, not able to find the connection there. It dropped harder than an ancient sprint call as we're going to go off to the corner again to reset this offense. It's going to be another save by Santa.
Listen, that infield passing play may not have worked out, but they still got something to work with here. It's too much for Santa to save. At some point, he can't do it all. And Louisiana Tech Blue, they'll keep game four, Visionary, alive.
They certainly will. With 16 seconds to go, you love to see it as well. You know, it's been back and forth this entire time, and we've seen kind of strokes of brilliance and strokes of what is going on with the defense of both these teams. Unfortunately, that was just a good offensive possession by Louisiana Tech, as this is looking like another one. The drop down over to Vijas is going to be saved, and boom, downfield. Jazz looking to keep this one alive, looking to keep that pressure on before we get to overtime. It's going to be a 50-50 in the midfield. It drops. We have a second overtime in an even numbered game.
Gonna say, we've been here before, so let's get to it again. Is Peacup just gonna handle the business right on to overtime? Not quite. Did get the reset, but not quite enough. And man, is this ball game coming down to communication again and again. The double commits raising their ugly head here for Army West Point. That avenue towards a transition on offense could have been much better orchestrated. One player on the ball at all times, and the ball is going to be given up to one single player here. Santa's tried to do it all, but he says, Trapo, you've got the lane, so finish the job. That's a game 4 win, the third on the board for Army West Point.
And Vijas there, unfortunately, I'm sure, I wasn't on the camera, but I'm sure he was off ball cam because he went to stroke up to the mid boost. As soon as that 50-50 happens and the ball dies and Santa's able to pick it up, he is still on the wide boost path looking for that big boost. If you just cut your rotation in a little bit and take that football shape path, you have the opportunity to potentially make that save there. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to read the play in time. So that's why I think he was on car cam, because there was just no turning. There was no sense of urgency on the play. It's unfortunate, of course, but 3 games now for West Point. It's definitely nice to see.
Yeah, and I think that miscue in the defensive rotation was kind of a resurgence of what we saw earlier out in the series, right? Of sometimes a lack of the defense coming out from LA. So, we may need to see that sharpened up. But Visionary One, I'd say in general, during that game 4, there was definitely more cohesion, more communication going on, despite the couple double commits. We didn't really see that goal line in complete absence for some of these teams.
Yeah, and it's obviously something, you have first week jitters as well. You have freshmen coming on campus, you're playing with new teams, you're trying to get used to each other while balancing your schoolwork. It's not really an easy task to begin with. So we're looking at newer teams trying to get together and gel and just trying to figure out what's going on as far as rotations, as far as communication, as far as style of play, everything that goes into that. So we have to give all these teams credit. They're kind of fighting through those growing pains, as growing as a team that ECAC allows you to do, right? Because this is Louisiana Tech Blue. I'm sure they have a secondary squad in there as well that is trying to do the same exact thing right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what it takes as well in week 1, right? We talk about the adaptations you can make in a best of 7, but there's also some watching of the film, a little bit of VOD review that typically happens with some of these teams after their first series in ECAC and says, okay, this is our test case example. Let's take a look at what we did right. Let's take a look at what we did wrong. If they want a wrong portion, they can look at game 3. If they want an improvement portion, they can look at game 4. Louisiana Tech Blue, they're on the trend of improving, but how much can you do that mid-series? That's more so the question. As we get this lobby back up and running, we'll be back very soon here with this game 5 Visionary One, in which now we're at match point. Right, these series, they're longer with the best of 7, but Army West Point have created a very tall hill now for Louisiana to climb.
Yeah, I mean, the 3-1 isn't impossible to come back from, but it's certainly a tough road ahead. You definitely see a lot more gentlemen's sweeps in best of 7s than you do in some other instances. And for me, it's just West Point has always had that ability to bounce back from goals. Like, you get scored on with 16 seconds left. There was no signs of mental degradation at all. They're up there. They're still strong. They're able to take it in overtime on a great 50-50 in the midfield. Doesn't seem like anything has really gotten them down. They've tried to play their game every single game that has started. We're seeing their fast play. We're seeing those midfield passes. We're seeing them be aggressive with bumps at times as well, just to kind of throw off Louisiana Tech. I really like what they've done so far. I think they continue to look to do it and close it out here, of course, in game number 5.
I think it's absolutely possible. One thing I do like in the case for Louisiana Tech is the fact that we've seen some versatility between these players. We've seen a different set of players come up to the plate because earlier on it was Jazz kind of holding the weight of the team, but out of, I want to say, the 14 shots, 8 of them domineered by P-Cup. 8 shots in one single game. We haven't really seen a performance like that yet from P-Cup, so there's definitely a sense of taking the torch for some of these players and trying to pave the way for their unit. If all players can be firing on all cylinders for this LA squad, Louisiana, maybe they can turn things around. We'll finally get a chance to see if that is the case, folks. We've got Game 5 back up and running, and this series continues. Match point, though, for Army West Point.
We're going to see instant possession off the kick, of course, for Louisiana Tech. There's a nice little touch over the top, running out of boost. 2 jump for this one, though. It's going to be P-Cup. Going to be dunked on right there, and Santa going to clear this one out away. You see Vijas taking that wide rotation. A little bit more respect coming out from Louisiana Tech as they're allowed to go ahead and they're like, hey, you can boom this ball downfield. That is fine. We're going to have somebody back. We're not giving up another open net.
That's important as well for the tone setter as we took a bit of a longer break between games, right? It's almost a way to ice the kickers in the form of Rocket League, right? That momentum that was swinging forward for Army West Point, could it be washed away here after the short break? We'll see, as we're still scoreless. Just yet a minute to go. Vijas still in that breakout, rocking it downfield, looking for a touch in the corner as well, stealing boost, but Shady Sunglasses already has a lane up the field from the sideline, looking for a pass midfield, but doesn't look like either team is ready to get too aggressive offensively.
I mean, that was
well situated.
Yeah, I was about to say that was a pretty aggressive back pass right there from Vihaz, but doesn't seem to hurt them at all as this one's going to be rocketed back to the other side. We're playing a game of ping pong, except on the corners as Vihaz able to make another clear, but this is going to be the center of the field with everybody here on Louisiana Tech on low boost, except for Peakup. It's going to be difficult to go ahead and get that one downfield as Coco kind of playing this one patiently, realizes they only have 12 boosts, tries to find Shady Sunglasses. It's not going to happen there with the connection. Santa has to turn early on this one and is going to win it out. With 3:29 to go, it's back and forth, but we've already seen overtime twice in this series, Pyro. It's not really a surprise that these teams are as close as they are.
Yeah, they're gritty, and they're fine with waiting for their opponent's mistakes, really. It comes down to discipline sometimes, and especially when LA Tech Blue, they know that in the next game, or this game, the series could end. Every single play feels like it's do or die. I love that pass to Peakup. He's trying to make the most of it, and he certainly will. Look at that. Off to the ceiling. Peakup still the next player to hit the ball. The defense of Army West Point not moving as quickly as they need to on that play.
It seemed like another miscommunication, right? Because you have one sitting front post and you have one sitting in the middle of the net, and that's not typically the optimal position to be in on defense anyway. So it looks like it's like a you go, no you go scenario that kind of happened right there. And Peakup should not be allowed to come off the ceiling and be the first one to recover to that ball. That should not be a thing of an instance of that happening, as Vihaz is going to get just bullied out of the way there. Is Jazz going to be able to get a nice clear over to the side, but it's going to be straight to Shady Sunglasses. Parker doesn't have the read. This one's going to go over the top and be cleared out. Santa kind of getting bumped out of the way by Parker, but fortunately gets lopsided himself. So it's going to be a reset in the midfield once again. We're seeing that pressure coming on from Louisiana Tech right now, though. They're doing a great job of kind of resetting themselves, and it seems like they always have a third back just prepared for the worst case scenario.
Which again is just a different story from what we've seen from them before. Having those reinforcements intact defensively, so important for Louisiana Tech Blue to have gotten that lead first and to actually try and hold on to it. Right now, though, it's not about defense for them. They've got an angle up the field, and Vihaz is working the back line, forcing a couple defenders to come out of their comfort zone, get baited into a couple challenges there. Doesn't provide a shooting opportunity until Vihaz works this ball in the way of the box. Their enemy's box from Louisiana Tech Blue was ready to pounce on Peakup, couldn't put it on target. Vihaz is going to be a back pass for Peakup to try and hold on to. Parker looking for a way out of this, outside of these defenders' lanes, but now they're awkward on the backboard. It's put up high. Jazz going to be the next on the ball to clear it away. That'll give a breath for Louisiana Tech to hold on to. They may have more than just that. Vihaz can't read that double. Jazz with the follow. Is it high enough? It certainly is. 2-goal lead. A little bit of padding for Louisiana.
And I love to see that. I think this is their first 2-goal lead they've had in the entire series, as it seems like they've been playing from behind almost the entire time. And that's just a great example for Jazz for placement over power. You know what? I know they're low boosts. They're on top of each other. I'm just going to hit this one upper 90 and see where it goes and see if they can make that play and continue that pressure instead of just rocking their shot maybe low that could be saved. Parker gets a flip reset here, not going to use it. Vihaz almost has the angle, unfortunately not able to drop it in. I'm really loving the aggression that we're seeing out, and it's very calculated, it's very calm. We're not seeing those double commits that we've seen in the midfield previously, as that one goes just wide of the target. Seems like La Tech really is kind of just settled down, and they're able to be like, hey, we're on match point. We don't have anything to lose at this point. Let's just go ahead and throw the kitchen sink at it and see what happens as Parker gets another shot on net.
Yeah, they're firing away. There's a barrage right now coming out of Louisiana Tech Blue. Can they manage more than that? Keep the pressure up and just leave an absence of opportunities for Army West Point. Army West Point, they still do have a chance to close out this series here today, but they got to be moving and grooving right now. Instead, they're facing more shot taking. We haven't seen a lot of the double taps come to form here for Louisiana Tech Blue, but they seem to only be more and more empowered as we get closer and closer to those 3 zeros, those digits on the clock. Sandy Sunglasses with a late game desperation clear towards the net. Santa next on the ball. It's open in the midfield. Jazz with the clear. Peakup with the demolition. It seems to all be coming to form for Louisiana Tech Blue. They'll keep this series alive. They'll take it to game number 6, and they have a chance to really tie up this series and make things interesting. Visionary. We elongate the series to the next one.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, it's one game at a time, right? And Louisiana Tech just came out firing on this one. And don't let the shot totals fool you. It was only 4 for Louisiana Tech. Army West Point only had 2. Like, this was a very different game, very midfield oriented. But the thing I love to see out of Louisiana Tech this game, both goals were assisted. That's in my mind, we've seen them kind of be the better passing team, and West Point's kind of been able to read those passes, but they've always gone for them in the midfield, and they're finally starting to connect. They're finally starting to get that vibe. We saw that rocket in game number 1. I think that really set the tone that, hey, Louisiana Tech's going to be like, even if it's to our detriment, we're going to be passing to that second man. We're going to see if we can get some extra pressure on the goals, and it seemed to work out for them this game. We'll see if they can continue that momentum here and kind of defend that midfield like they did.
Yeah, Rocket League's all about finding a balance, right, Visionary One? So we've seen kind of at the beginning of the game, LA Tech not really find that opportunity to get follow-up shots on the net. And then moving forward in the series, they tried getting more aggressive, but that ended up bringing a complete absence on the back line and leaving a bunch of open nets for their opposition. Now they've sort of evened both of those things out. They can apply pressure without giving up easy breakaways to Army West Point. So there has to be a response now from Army West Point, and there's not much of a response here to begin with. Peacock's gonna start this game off strong.
Oh, I mean, look at Jazz, though. The flip reset over the top of the defender. You got to give him his due, because that's just spoon-fed to Peacock. There's no doubt in my mind. Parker is just sitting there like, oh, yeah, I'm ready for that one, because there is nobody within 24 country miles of that touch. It's a great job by Jazz to really set the tone out in this game number 1. And this is another thing where we really haven't seen Louisiana Tech, except for last game. Well, I was going to say play with the lead, but just go ahead and call that one up to the caster curse. We haven't done it yet. It's going to be a quick response here, of course, off the top of Santa, beating out 1. It's just a good shot by Trapo, kind of throwing the change up there, able to get it around the defender.
I also love how Trapo's always hot off the bench, right? Like, coming in for Coco from the last game. Trapo's just always ready to make it count for his team. This seems to be like the unit that's working right now for Army West Point. And if that continues, then Louisiana Tech Blue, they may not have a cakewalk into game number 7 of this series. We're still in game number 6, tied up 1-1. But the shot counts only from 4 of Louisiana Tech Blue in the last game and 2 to Army West Point, Visionary One. It's starting to feel like we're going to get a little more than that this game.
Yeah, we're going to the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's kind of getting flipped, turned upside down, because there's already 4 on the board for Army West Point. We're only a minute in, so definitely love to see the fact they're getting shots on board, but it's kind of that quantity over quality argument right now, is all those shots have kind of been pot shots testing that defense. A lot of what we saw out of Louisiana Tech in game number 1, and there's a dunk by Viaz. He's able to get that one in, using the long car of the Dominus to fight through the challenge there. So you see Shady Sunglasses just over flips a little bit and just tries to take a low 50. Vihas takes the high road, able to get one in.
Oh my, yeah, that was one of those pop shots that just felt like maybe he was applying the pressure, but no, it's that beautiful plank hitbox of the breakout. It is something different. Visionary One, I'll tell you, but look at the crisscross from Santa. He's trying to take out all the defenders like he did before. Can't manage it off the kickoff that time around. Trapo converts the possession back over to Louisiana Tech Blue. Vihas skying up to this ball. That is 3 Rocket League cars up on that one. We have entered the scene of chaos once again in this series, something we saw very vividly during game number 3. And it works in multiples. In game 6, we're trying to get back to unison. Towards the back line from Jazz, demoed off the field. Santa has a look, but it's off at the backboard. Sunglasses can't convert that into a shot.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's going to be transition offense again. Vihas already up on this one. Does he have the boost? He's actually going to leave it for Parker. They pitch it. They pitch it in, Pyro. Look at these comms. It's like everything has been flipped on their head. They're actually talking, and they're able to secure a 74-mile-an-hour musty flick pinch. Oh, my God.
You're kidding. You're kidding. Pinch me, Visionary One. I must be dreaming. That shot down the middle. Pinch between the defenders. Come on now. Louisiana Tech Blue. Oh, they're here to play. And they've got quite a response in order for Army West Point. This is looking ridiculous. I mean, for Army West Point as well, how do you even read the offense when they're pulling out unique plays like that? It's going to take all the tricks out of the bag here for either team to win. Army West Point, they want to close this deficit once again. All the chance here. Sunglasses, shot's going to be blocked. Santa's going to be next, though, trying to take it over that defender. Peek up the last remaining. Doesn't get a touch, but doesn't seem to jostle Louisiana Tech Blue either. They're still working to get this ball out, but they're taking care of the ball as best as they can.
Yeah, and Viha is actually having fortunate flat car problems right there. I haven't really seen somebody be happy about having flat car problems off the wall, but it actually turned out being a fake and it allowed him to get all the way downfield. Sunglasses with a nice fake here. It's going to be a combo. The friendship, the power of friendship, able to save that one out. Jazz getting credit for the save. There's two people right there on it, though. Strapo trying to keep that pressure up. It's going to be Santa putting a pot shot on net once again. Vihas and Parker going to combine here. Get this one down the field. It's going to be a low 50 for Parker, able to beat one, not able to beat the second, and Jazz is going to get a touch here. Actually going to leave the rest of the team awkward, but it's going to be Vihas able to at least get it away for now. There's still more pressure coming out from Armory West Point. They're currently leading the shot total 7-5. They just haven't generated anything off of it until this moment. It's still out of the net, and it somehow does not find its way in, Pyro J. And it's just a lemony snicket series of unfortunate events right now, it feels like, for West Point.
Yeah, and we had the exact opposite at the beginning of the series where Louisiana Tech Blue couldn't buy a goal, whether it worked off the post or the double saves from Santa. It just wouldn't fall in. And now, well, they're drinking a little bit of their own medicine here, where they just cannot find it through the uprights. And this game feeling reminiscent of the last one. They're down 2 goals once again. And struggling to close that deficit. A minute remaining to start to get some goals on the board. In addition to their first one that they found, Santa, that's a strong 50. Working against Vihas, looking for an extra one, but without boost. Not looking very lethal along the sideline. Shady Sunglasses, the next up to plate. Santa moves that off across the width of the field and out to the corner. Wants to beat defenders once again. Can't find a bump on the Jazz, but it's a bounce shot. A bouncer from Shady Sunglasses. Nobody suspects it, but it looks like Louisiana Tech Blue, they're all on top of it. They've still got that 2-goal lead.
Yeah, the pressure is coming out, but it might be too little too late here as it's a great dunk by Santa, but it's a double commit as well, which means Parker's going to have a lot of space here. Beats out the third, and they can basically drain at least 8-7 seconds off this clock right now. That 50 is going to help with that as well. This is going to be an awkward scenario as the clock winds down. 15 seconds remain. Just doesn't seem like enough time, especially with Jazz playing this one up. Goes for a fake on one, has no boost. It doesn't even matter as Viha's going to keep this one up. There's Parker with a shot. It's going to be a pot shot. It's going to be Jazz alone in the backfield. Does not matter. The clock's going to strike 1, the clock's going to strike 0, and it's going to be 1 for the road for Louisiana Tech as they tie this series up. We're going to game 7, Pyro.
Yeah, why not assert your dominance a little more and keep that second on the clock still? This is Louisiana Tech Blue doing more than just fighting back. This is them trying to be the one on the end of the dining table, the king, so to speak, and really rule the land that will be Champions Field, folks. Game number 7, week 1 of this ECAC Division A Fall 2022. Visionary One, could we have started off this season better than this?
I don't think so, to be honest with you. To see game 7, to see 2 separate overtimes, to see teams making those adjustments that we alluded to in the pregame that's so important in these best of 7 series. And for Louisiana Tech, they look like a completely different team than they did from game number 1. We're seeing musty flick pinches in the midfield that they're calling out. We're seeing those passes actually coming out. Once again, 3 out of their 4 goals are assisted. It's just, it's astronomical, the improvement that they've made in just 3 or 4 games. It really seems like they've kind of put the pieces together. It's looking like that, 3+ mega block set right now, where you might struggle with it at first and you remember, oh, this is for ages 3 and up. I should be able to get this.
Yeah, you know what, Visionary One? Puzzles aren't my strong suit necessarily, but it does feel like there's some certain cohesion working out for Louisiana Tech Blue. We're going to take it to game number 7, though, folks. Both teams with match point, ready to start the tone of this fall 2022 season off right. Either of these teams going to get the chance in game number 7 to make things their way. It all comes down to this. Who's going to take it?
Oh, we're going to figure that out. It's 4 minutes and 55 seconds to determine the victor as Viha's doing a good job banging this one downfield. Santa having to kill his momentum in half flip to get out of this. Also, the boost gets stolen, so there is no challenge on this ball. Jazz has an opportunity to get the center. Shady Sunglasses actually centers it again. Peek up with a shot off the crossbar, down, and Viha just comes barely in from nowhere on your screen, able to get the delicate touch on it to put that one away, and it's Louisiana Tech up 1-0.
I'll tell you what, if these cars are just a couple inches shorter, neither Peacup nor Vihaz are getting the touches that they're looking for. This game has been decided by mere millimeters, and again, wouldn't have it any other way. Louisiana Tech Blue starting this game off very strong, just as they have in the last 3, to work up that initial lead. And well, guess what? Hold on to it. Is that going to be the case again here in game number 7? Army West Point have to work from behind yet again.
It's another midfield double commit though, and a bump attempt on Parker. This one's going to be off the crossbar. Can anybody get to it? No. Too low boost, but it's going to be a miss again, and it's ball's just free in front of the net, Pyro, and they're just not able to read it, unfortunately, as Parker's able to sky that one downfield and at least get some transitional offense here. As Trapo going to clear that out, and just about as powerful as it was before, gets a demo and beats one. This might be an opportunity. Do they have the shot? Played off the backboard. Parker's able to get back in time, but it's going to be Santa off the crossbar and out. Not able to find it, and we stay with a 1-goal lead for Louisiana Tech, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
There needs to be the luck of the friendly roll right now working for Army West Point right now, because that woodwork has not been kind to Army West Point. Again and again, knocking the ball away. They're wishing the uprights were just a little bit wider, the crossbar a little bit taller, but that's not the game we're playing. This ain't no horseshoes nor hand grenades. This is Rocket League, and you've got to have that placement of the shots. You've got to have that pinpoint precision to tally up some points on that board. It takes the best to take the lead and win in these clutch scenarios of game number 7. Louisiana Tech Blue, they've still got the lead to work with off of that early goal. Is it going to be all that they need? Even with all the shots being fired away, none of them finding the back of the net.
Yeah, it seems like Army West Point has had so much pressure, but Pyro, they only have 3 registered shots on the board. Now 4 with that pot shot coming out and saved by Jazz. Now we're evened up in shots, but it seems like Army West Point is doing a better job of generating pressure here. It's just been unfortunate so far, the fact that they haven't been able to find the back of the net. We've seen the crossbar, that woodwork doing its work as well, as this one's going to be dropped down. Santa looking for the touch over the top. Chaz doing a good job of controlling this off the backboard. Might be able to swing this into another touch as well, but Parker's just a bit too close. This is going to be dangerous, but it's going to be Vihaz standing strong on the back line once again, able to get that away. Looking for a transition opportunity. It's going to be cut off by Santa and Pyro. I mean, at what point does the egg crack right now? Because Army West Point is throwing everything they possibly can at it, and it's just not happening yet. Their pressure has been good, but they cannot find the final nail in the coffin so far.
I'll tell you what, Visionary, if an analyst is handed a stat sheet merely of how much time this ball has spent on either half, they're wondering how Army West Point are losing in this game. It may not be the monumental amount of shot counts right now, 6 for Army West Point, but it most certainly is possession on their opponent's side. It's still not sorting out into a goal. They're still left at that goose egg that you said, Visionary, has not cracked, has not burst, has not found the point that Army West Point so desperately need. Jazz trying to work that off of the backboard. Can't get the read, didn't have the resources to make the shot happen. Instead, Vihaz being bullied back into their opponent's net. They've got 2 defenders to beat. That's 1 down and out. Jazz works that off of the corner. It's going to be Peacup to get the block and the shot again. Every single shot blocked away. Louisiana Tech Blue, they've got to survive just 1 minute more.
Oh, it's opportunities coming in though. Trapo's gonna be up on this one, not able to make the touch. Jazz doesn't have any boost. Trapo gonna keep this in the corner. We have Shady Sunglasses. Good opportunity right here. Flicks it past one, but the read is not made. And Santa is super close as third man, really diving in for that one, hoping to get this goal. They do not want to drop that 3-1 lead that they had, but we have Parker on the ball right now, looking for Vihaz, gonna connect. Not going to find the touchdown, though. It's going to be an opportunity for Santa here. We've seen him beat the defense. It's a good 50-50 to the midfield, but nobody is there on the side of Army West Point as the pressure continues for them, however. Great redirect, great shot on target, and it's going to go just wide there. The opportunity was there. The boost was not. 17-16. It counts down. It's a massive clear by Jazz. This may be the nail in the coffin here as the pressure continues, Pyro.
Army West Point, they're in disbelief. How have they not scored a goal? 5 seconds remaining on the clock. There's a bump. Santa can't get a touch on the ball. Trappo wants to make a move. Shady Sunglasses with a little bit of boost, but it feels backflip. It feels bad because that's 3 games given up by Army West Point. Louisiana Tech Blue take hold of this series, take the reins, and ride it all the way to the victory lap. Louisiana Tech Blue win Week 1 of ECAC Division A Fall 2022 against Army West Point.
Oh my. I'm surprised you have words right now, because I want to say that ball spent its time for 4 minutes of the 5 in the Louisiana Tech half that game. And it was a great idea by Army West Point to be like, they're eventually going to break. We don't have to shoot it on net immediately. We're going to keep generating pressure. We're going to sky it off the backboard. We're going to hit it off the corners. They tried just about everything. The only thing I didn't really see from them that maybe would have broken that egg that we spoke about earlier is midfield passing. We didn't see a lot of. We saw a lot of backboard booms. We saw a lot of the corner play. We did not see a lot of those passes happening in the midfield on transition. Maybe that could have cracked it, but at that point, it just felt like it was destiny for Louisiana Tech.
Well, destiny and fate reached its finale here in this series. Louisiana Tech Blue find their win. Folks, if you're as flabbergasted as us, if you want to hear more, if you still haven't gotten over it, don't worry. We've got an interview with that team coming right up. So after this break, we'll be right back with a member from that team.
To you for guidance, because you're trained to give it and make important decisions in critical situations. Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 Classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
You think knowledge is a powerful weapon? Here, you'll have plenty of ammo. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Becoming a leader is a choice. So if you want to learn to make big decisions, start with this one. Decide to lead.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
We all got a thing. A thing that gets us out of bed or keeps us out of it. The thing we live to do, that we do for nothing at all. But don't do it for nothing. Take it to where it means everything. Becoming a leader is a choice not everyone wants to make. Because all eyes are on you. Calling the shots. Inspiring others to follow. In any environment, at any scale. It's not for everyone, but if you want to learn to make big decisions, start with this one. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
You think knowledge is a powerful weapon? Here, you'll have plenty of ammo. Look to science to solve problems? Wield a microscope to confront global threats. You sometimes dream in code? Become a cyber attacker's worst nightmare. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
What do you expect from that first job out of college? Working your way up from the bottom? Instead, how does this sound? Starting in a guaranteed leadership position with people who look to you for guidance because you're trained to give it and make important decisions in critical situations. Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
What would you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Are you the one others rally around? inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
You think knowledge is a powerful weapon? Here, you'll have plenty of ammo. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Becoming a leader is a choice. So if you want to learn to make big decisions, start with this one. Decide to lead.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
We all got a thing. A thing that gets us out of bed or keeps us out of it. The thing we live to do, that we do for nothing at all. But don't do it for nothing. Take it to where it means everything. Becoming a leader is a choice not everyone wants to make. Because all eyes are on you. Calling the shots. Inspiring others to follow. In any environment. At any scale. It's not for everyone. But if you want to learn to make big decisions, start with this one. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
You think knowledge is a powerful weapon? Here, you'll have plenty of ammo. Look to science to solve problems? Wield a microscope to confront global threats. You sometimes dream in code? Become a cyber attacker's worst nightmare. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
What do you expect from that first job out of college? Working your way up from the bottom? Instead, how does this sound? Starting in a guaranteed leadership position. with people who look to you for guidance because you're trained to give it.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the ECAC Rocket League action. We just wrapped up an incredible best of 7 all the way to game 7, where we had Louisiana Tech Blue take over Army West Point. And Visionary 1 and I are graced now with the presence of one of these players from Louisiana Tech Blue. We have Vihaz on the line. Vihaz, hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. How are we feeling after the big win?
Maybe shaking still a little bit since the last game. It was a big push, but yeah, we made it. We feel really good getting the first win of the season out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. Of course, I mean, let's just talk about that game 7 real quick, because the sheer fact that the ball was probably in y'all's half for 4 out of the 5 minutes of that game, and we kind of saw the defensive mistakes come out in game number 3. What did y'all really focus on as far as changes from that game 3 to kind of come back, make your way back into the series, and then on top of that, be able to clutch up on defense in game number 7?
Well, I guess to start that out, I mean, like, starting from game 1, it was kind of just like I think we got on like 10 minutes before we started playing, and so it was really just kind of getting those grooves out of the way and just started just kind of getting those mistakes out. But when we made it to game 3, we were kind of still focusing on just trying to keep possession, focus on the passing plays, try to get out of the half whenever try to keep possession. But kind of started kind of feeling the other team, but we kind of just focused on just passing plays after that game 3 and on.
Okay, yeah. I think the passing plays make a lot of sense because we started seeing that, especially in the infield as the games went on. Like the solo play endeavors from Jazz were all over the place, but then it felt like a more unified squad as the games went on. I do wonder as well, I want to take things a little broader with you, Vihaz. So we have like week 1 of the ECAC right now, right? And we were chatting how this is UNP Cup back in it from last season, and Jazz is the new addition. What's your outlook on the rest of the season? I'm really curious as to now you're coming off of a big win here in week 1. What is your take on how you think the rest of the season goes? How are you guys feeling moving forward?
Well, I think that it's really just getting that team chemistry down with Jazz being the new addition. I think just the more we play, the more we'll get better. But with the new addition, we're really excited for this season. We're trying to go as far as we can, but we're really excited. Yep.
I mean, it's always great being excited for the season, of course, and y'all made a spectacle of this match day 1. So we definitely appreciate you, Vihaz. It's been a phenomenal time getting to talk to you. Do you have any shout outs that you want to plug, your teammates, your parents, anybody else that may be watching at home?
Well, just wanted to, I guess, thank my teammates and just Tech for having an RL team. But I guess I'll shout out the Tech Twitter. It's just at LA Tech Esports on Twitter. But yeah, that's about it.
Beautiful. LA Tech Esports. I'll definitely give that a follow after the broadcast. Vihaz, I'm sorry, before I let you go, the breakout, I need an explanation.
I heard that my teammates were saying that y'all were kind of dogging on the breakout, but I don't know. I just Octane main usually most of the time, but just kind of randomly used the breakout randomly when I was playing ranked, and it just felt really good, so I just stuck with it. Yeah.
Hey, it's the car that I started out with, so you're making me want to get back into it the way you looked out there on the field. Vihaz, thank you so much for joining us during the interview, and of course during the game, because you made an absolute match out of that one. Congratulations on your win, Vihaz. We'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks, that was the interview with Vihaz. Again, congratulations to Louisiana Tech Blue. And hey, Army West Point, thanks for giving us a heck of a match. Holy smokes. Good luck to you guys as well moving through this ECAC Fall 2022 season. It's been a pleasure for myself, Pyro J, Visionary 1 by my side, and of course, Professor Layton down there in the back end, making things look beautiful. Remember to keep following here for more ECAC, Rocket League, and any esports action that are going on. We'll see you all next time.
And make important decisions in critical situations. Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Skip entry level. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
You think knowledge is a powerful weapon? Here, you'll have plenty of ammo. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Becoming a leader is a choice. So if you want to learn to make big decisions, start with this one. Decide to lead.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
We all got a thing. A thing that gets us out of bed or keeps us out of it. The thing we live to do, that we do for nothing at all. But don't do it for nothing. Take it to where it means everything.